Hello, and welcome to Lessons with Laurie, where we're going to explore some of the big ideas and big concepts that are taught in mathematics pre-kindergarten through grade 5. And along the way, I'll try to give a rationale for some of the changes that you've seen in the mathematics curriculum, both in how it is taught as well as how we want students to learn the mathematics. So in front of me, I have two collections of beans. And a question I might ask is, which collection has more? Which has fewer? Well, even a young child can point, and likely by using eyesight alone, they would say this has more, this has fewer. As the quantity in these two collections gets to be about the same, perhaps eyesight is no longer sufficient to answer that question. So a new strategy might be that I do some sort of matching to compare the quantity in each group. I might also use counting in order to decide. Well, what does counting really involve? And that's what I want to talk about in today's lesson. What is counting? What are the skills involved with counting? Well, there are three very specific skills that I want you to listen for as your child is practicing their counting at home. The first is that I need to know that number word sequence in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Second, I need to match each of those words with an object being counted in a one-to-one correspondence. Third, I need to make sure that each object in the group is counted once and only once. So as your child practices their counting at home, listen for those three skills. I'd also like you to think about three different benchmarks in the learning progression. 0 through 5, 0 through 10, and then 0 through 20. Those are the first three benchmarks that we look at in early mathematics. There are some related concepts to counting that can also be practiced at the same time. If I've asked my child to count and they say there are 4 beans, I might then say, how many do we have now? Chances are they will count from the beginning again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would say 5 is 1 more than 4. So practice 1 more in the counting sequence. Also practice 1 less. If I have counted 1, 2, 3, 4, ask, how many do I have now? 1, 2, 3. 3 is 1 less than 4. So 1 more than, 1 less than. That naturally is going to lead to the related skills of 2 more, 2 less. 10 more, 10 less. So counting, listening for those three skills, counting 1 more and 1 less, 2 more, 2 less, and so on. Some of the tools that we use in early mathematics to help us recognize number and practice being able to recognize number is to use a 5 frame. A 5 frame is a rectangular array with 5 squares in it. So here's a picture of the number 0. Here's a 5 frame picture for the number 1. Here's a 5 frame picture for the number 2. But this is also a 5 frame picture for the number 2, or the number 2, or the number 2. Think about what you might do at home with these 5 frame pictures of quantities 0 through 5. You could do flashcards. You could have a second set that has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and don't forget 0. You can do a matching sort of game, or to play Go Fish with those 2 decks of cards. You'll find that set on our website. Moving on, if you put 2 5 frames together, you get a 10 frame. So here's a picture of the number 8. Some of the related skills as students are learning about the number 8, you can see that in this 10 frame, there are 2 squares that are missing. That means that 8 is 2 less than 10. I want students to be able to look and immediately recognize 8 is 2 less than 10. 8 is 2 less than 10. We could also talk about the number 7 plus 1 more is 8. 6 plus 2 more is the number 8. So this 10 frame allows us to move in the mathematics progression to work with operations. Here's a last way at home that you might want to be practicing counting and related skills. I have a picture of a 10 frame on the left of the number 8, and on the right hand side you're looking at the partner numbers for 8, or a pair of partner numbers for the number 8. 2 and 6 are partners for the number 8. 1 and 7 would be partner numbers. 3 and 5, and so on. Well, where does this lead to in terms of operations? By recognizing that 8 can be written as the sum 2 plus 6, or 6 plus 2. They are partner numbers. It also is related to the subtraction problems. 8 subtract 6 is equal to 2, and 8 subtract 2 is equal to 6. So partner numbers, how I decompose the number 8, leads to those next operations of addition and subtraction. So thank you for watching this lesson on counting. Remember to listen for those 3 skills related to counting, as well as the 3 benchmarks, 0 through 5, 0 through 10, and 0 through 20. I hope you can understand how these models, the 5 frame and the 10 frame, and thinking about partner numbers, how that may sound different than how you learn mathematics, but these visuals and these tools help students develop a much deeper conceptual understanding of counting and how numbers can be composed and decomposed. Thank you.